Markets to Watch, sponsored by Pagetrader.com, starts now.
Welcome back to CEO Money and Michael Yorba. All right, we've got the famous, the fabulous David Williams on the show. Hey, it's Vegas, man. You got to be a little showmanship.
Thank you for having me, Michael.
You're welcome. All right, Dave. I see a little bounce here in the S&Ps. What's up?
We do have a little bounce here, and we had forecast that the market would have a bearish day on the 21st of June, which is when we move into summer. But that would be a big down day, and we normally would see follow through to the downside. Since we did not see follow through to the downside today, we still think it's very possible into Monday or Tuesday of next week, where we'll be back down in the potentially 2730s, high 30s or so before this is over. So we're still of that belief, particularly if we close today below 2765. And we're below that level right now. We're at 2762 and change. So we still believe short term that we may have a little more to the downside that the market has to complete. And then we're looking for a move up in July and possibly beyond in the S&P. So that's where we are right now, and maybe a sizable move up from where we are now. This is just a pullback that we're referring to, and we're looking for higher prices into July in the summer, which is a little uncharacteristic, but that's what the indications are.
Yeah, so much for sell in May and go away.
Perhaps, yes, perhaps. I mean, that's a pretty good general rule, but those rules can't be held to every year and every set of conditions and so on. So we're excited about Monday and Tuesday because if we close below 2765, we think there still is some bearishness in the S&P that needs to get relieved to the downside, and then we're going to be looking for up from there into July. Okay. That's S&P.
All right.
We also, as I mentioned to you, we had forecast that gold would not, this is way back on June 14th, June 15th, that gold would not have a large rally until it went back down to test $1,285 per ounce, and that it did that into the third quarter. So we have to be at least into the third quarter and have touched $1,285 at that time before or lower, before gold will be ready to have a larger advance. So we're not ready to be a full believer in any large advance in gold yet. And so that's an interesting set of conditions as well. We've saved some people from having to buy up at higher prices. We did get down to $1,285, and today we're trading at $1,272 in gold. So we're below those levels now.
Okay.
Excited about that. Go ahead.
Me too. I mean, I want to talk about Bitcoin and also because, the real relative to the dollar. But before we do that, hey, we've got a $3.60 some odd cents movement. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking
about.
Well,
I'll tell you what. The crude oil market on another program, we had forecast that crude was putting in a bottom, a weekly bottom. We may have done it on yours. Last week was the on-time week. This week was 1 week late. And the market has rocketed out of there beautifully. We're very happy to see this explosive advance, and this will help crude close the month well. And if it does close the month well, and that would be closing above $65, and they will. They close above $65 on the month, and crude is in a very good position for yet higher prices. Now, higher price crude isn't something that everybody wants. People that buy gasoline and other products with plastic and so on, that can increase the prices of those products. But, this is a market, and it's a market that we forecast in. We think that there's likely going to be a daily top either on Monday or Tuesday for a few-day decline in crude. But all of this up push is off of our forecast for a weekly bottom, and we're excited to see that and be trading in it, of course.
Let me throw my 2 cents on there because you said monthly, so I pulled up a monthly chart, and when I describe something, it's not necessarily because these are my main indicators, but there are the indicators that some of the big banks use to tell their clients about, not necessarily to trade on, but just to tell their clients about, to keep them online. On a monthly basis, we're over that 200 period moving average, and that's a big signal for a lot of people. So are you? I mean, the all-time high 147.27, but do you think that we're going to be? I mean, continue to raise the prices here in the crude oil with something that could be a longer-term trend?
Yes, we do tend to think that there is a longer-term trend underway in crude oil. We do. And that the prices that we just saw a little while back in crude are probably not the last of the highs here. We do tend to believe that.
Okay.
So I'll have a forecast for you for where we think crude's going to be. But now that we got the weekly bottom, forecast and now they're confirming it. On Monday or Tuesday on your program, I'll give you out what our next monthly call is for crude on the upside.
Okay. All right. That's good. Anything else? I mean, what was that time frame that you said we're waiting for this flat period to be over with Bitcoin?
Let's see.
Third quarter?
Check. It may have been, but Bitcoin still is in a pretty weak position, as you know. They're still moving lower, but I don't know if I have an answer for your question right now on Bitcoin. I'm just flashing through it here.
Yeah, because you were saying it had to go sideways to lower for a while, and then
yes.
Then
I'll get that clarified, and when we talk again, I'll have that clarified for you. Bitcoin had the big run up, and now it has to deal with just the ordinary day-to-day trading. It still is a wonderful instrument and very, very volatile. A lot of steam in this, but it's down to the downside. There's plenty of trading opportunities in Bitcoin. But for us, we need to know where the bigger picture is so we can trade in that direction. And I'll have that for you when we speak again, because I don't have that specific forecast near me here for Bitcoin. So I apologize for that.
Don't worry about that, Dave. Hey, real quick, we're going to close out in 30 seconds or less. Events coming up soon. I think you probably have one coming, right?
We do. We have the September 8th and 9th, 2018, over at the Mirage Hotel. We'll be there teaching our Square Principle seminar, and that's where we teach how we put these forecasts together utilizing what we call the Square Principle. It's a very important part of our work. People from all over the world come to learn the Square Principle, and we're just delighted to be able to be in a position to teach it, have them come and learn it, and then in many cases become very long-time customers, clients of ours, utilizing the same principle that we're using. So we're very happy to be able to see that.
Great. Thanks, Dave. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. You've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for listening.